Well, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Dr. Jay Shetlin here with you from the Whiplash Group and from my own practice, South Jordan Chiropractic. And we have Nina and Jennifer with us today, who are experts in helping us build our brand and marketing ourselves with not only professional photography that tells your story and builds your brand, but also how to leverage that not only on social media, but with your own magazine, a local magazine, or with the Whiplash Group magazine if you're an auto accident specialist, or with your website or a book. So these ladies are absolute gurus in this field, and we wanted to really focus and drill this down as simple as we can for you and let you see some of the tools you may be missing out on that it's just a no-brainer to get useful in your practice. So now Jennifer does have laryngitis with us today. We're going to try to help her out as much as she can, but Jennifer, if you're able to briefly explain what is the difference with branding versus just photography?
Oh, great question, Jay. Brand photography is all about the story. It's all about the story. So I actually don't even really do just take a picture of you. I am constantly looking to tell a story with the images that I take, from the headshots that I take all the way through action shots where we take a picture of your hands on the body. If you're a chiropractor, we take a picture of the possibilities and what happens in your office. All of those things are brand photography. So you want images that really have something more to say than just your great smile, which we'll also capture as well.
That's great. What a nice summary, because you got to have the right images to really tell the right story. So Nina, if we've got these doctors or attorneys that we know and they're actually getting these proper professional pictures, which, by the way, Jennifer is here in Utah, but she's willing to travel to your location for a really reasonable rate to help you get the right images that you need to build your branding. But Nina, if we're going to have these doctors and attorneys really help leverage a tool, because business cards are old school. The new business cards these days are a book or a magazine, which I know you help them from start to finish with that. Can you give us a little information on how to best leverage those tools?
Yeah, when you become an author, a published author, there's a real authority that comes in there. Jay, you know that because you've published multiple books. And, what I say is I help somebody not just look at a blank screen. I actually interview them, take their content, their voice, and I create the first draft for them. Let me give you some examples. And I know, Jay, you're going to show these here in just a few minutes, but I'm going to give you some. These three are chiropractors, all located in different areas in the country. I actually have a fourth one that's not even here. And once he got the book and used it, like you say, as a business card, it added $250,000 to his practice in just 7 months. So it's really, really powerful, because why should they use you versus anybody else? Why should they use you versus nobody else? And Jennifer is absolutely right. It's critical that they see you, they trust you, that they have this feeling that there's something that that they get to know you a little bit, and they can know you a lot through those pictures.
Back to Jennifer then, what would you recommend? What type of images would you recommend for the magazine experience?
First of all, you need a headshot that tells your story. So we put you, if you're a chiropractor, we put you in your office, in your scrubs. We don't often do the suit and tie because that's not you on a daily basis. We want you to have something that tells the story of who you are. The suit and tie it can be useful for depending if you've got a broader audience. It depends on your goals with those images. And then we definitely get you shots with your hands on the body, with you talking to customers, patients in your case, with you looking at x-rays, with you conferring with colleagues. We want those images that show who you are, what you do, and what it's like to work with you.
So then what type of images would they need for a book, for example?
Well, they're going to need, in this particular case, we usually put them we either put them on the front cover or we'll put them on the back cover. So in a book, it's not as critical for pictures, but I will tell you what is really critical. And let me just show you. Let me show you one here. We actually put QR codes in books these days, because if you've done a webinar, if you've done any kind of speaking, this particular book, I don't have it, so I can't. Yeah, I do. Here it is. We will even put testimonials with a QR code. This particular one didn't have it. Yeah, it's a QR code is on the second page. So pictures inside a book is not as critical, but it is super critical in the magazines. And Jay, you know that.
Yeah.
What have we done? Five editions, four, something like that,
Yeah.
of your local magazine.
Yeah,
In fact, it might be very useful for them to know how are you using it in your practice.
Well, I use two magazines, and you're right. I think a magazine is much more visual. You need a lot of good images and short articles. They don't need to, it's not lengthy. You can actually have some of your people that you like to work with, other attorneys or doctors or other staff members that work with you, put together a very short story or find some other supplements or things that you like to promote in your office or in your community, and actually make that magazine a real magazine with some ads, some cross marketing with people you know, like, and trust. And I think they're just so powerful. I mean, we made not only the Whiplash one or auto accident specialty one that we use in our community that we share with attorneys, insurance agents, body shops, those kind of things. But we also have our practice one that we mail out to within a certain mile radius of our office. It's pretty cost effective. When I say cost effective, it's all relative. There is an expense when you buy a list for houses around your practice that have a certain income or whatever metrics you want to market that to, and then blast those out. But you can find places that will take your finished product, Nina, and actually mass print them, put them in clear envelopes, do all the postage, do all the heavy lifting for you, and boom, they're all out through your neighborhood. We also like to just hand deliver those to businesses we want to work with, or have patients take them and share them with their friends and family. I just think it's such a beautiful, literally artistic and professional tool to use to help build your reputation in your community.
Well, yeah. And you know what you can do also is you can get advertisers that will pay to be in there. So you've got a particular size practice. And if there is something that applies to them, like you talked about insurance agents, or even a dentist or different would like to reach those same people, they can have ads or articles or something in that same magazine. So it doesn't even have to be a cost. It can actually be a revenue generating thing.
Yeah,
too,
that's what's nice.
Because
and I have noticed that
for...
I've done that this time where we actually have them putting their ad in there. And I express it like, look, I want to help you by putting this ad in where you can reach my tribe. But when I go to mail it to the community, I want you guys to chip in and help us. So now it's not going to cost us to mail that out because they're actually paying that expense. And it works for them, works for us. It's a nice win-win. I really love your idea. Good thinking.
I have one client, and I don't have it here with me. I wish I did, who actually has 12 business card size ads on the very back page of his magazine that more than pays for that magazine. So yeah, it's a really good strategy. Another thing that's really good about it, Jay, is you do a lot of services that people would not have normally known about. You know, it could be weight loss, it could be a number of things. And there's very short articles in there about that kind of thing. You have offers in there too, just like that as well. So it's a ability to tell a lot more about your story than just simply a business card or nothing at all. And
Yeah.
of course, having Jennifer being able to tell it with pictures that helps tell that story makes it a real win-win.
Yeah, I think it works great. And I love her skill set combined with your skill set. And I love what you pointed out with the QR codes, which I'm going to do in the next one, because a picture's worth 1,000 words. So if we have a short little explanation in the article, but the nice visual pop, 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 that's what brings people in. And now you can use a QR code that goes to a video, and a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So now you can really value stack this tool to just get your message out there in different formats.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you do a webinar, let's say about a particular something you do, let's say it's decompression, and you know, maybe it's just 5 minutes or something. They can watch that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anytime, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and they can hear you saying the exact same thing over and over. It's a good way to really reach out. The QR codes also are the testimonials, which is fabulous. So you
That's
literally
great.
watch or hear those people telling their own stories.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I'll have to use that next time. That's great. Well, I just want to emphasize for my tribe and people that are following here, the value that both these ladies bring to the table. And it's not just it's a quick advertising tool or marketing tool. These are things you can leverage for years, for a couple of years in your practice, or just a quick little tweak and make another addition that you change 1 or 2 articles on. So it's very cost effective to keep leveraging and re-leveraging these tools. I definitely think you should update your pictures at least every 2 years.
Yeah.
But look, these are valuable and they're not cheap. It's $8,000 to $12,000 to do a magazine, but our tribe gets them for a much, much better rate. So it's worth reaching out to Nina and mention that you know Dr. Shetlin or the Whiplash group. And I know that Jennifer, she is amazing and she's willing to travel to different parts of the country to help you do this, where you can do the right photos with the right, you don't want just a photographer. You want somebody who understands how to brand you. To just take a bunch of pictures, like a wedding pictures that are going to go be in a memory book someday, that's a totally different thing than branding you and leveraging the power of what you bring to the table in your clinic and in your community. Anything to add on that, ladies, before we wrap up?
I think you've nailed it.
Well, again, doctors and attorneys, please reach out to myself or Nina or Jennifer directly, and let's help you get one of a couple of most powerful leveraging tools that you can get in your office to reach further in your community very cost effectively, because we have discount rates for you. So thanks for tuning in today.